everybody. Thanks for joining me for another one-man review. Today I'll be taking a look at a brand new book by Fantagraphics, Salome's Last Dance by Daria Tessler. This is an interesting book. It's a fun book. I don't know that it adds up to much, but it's okay. It's an artist having fun and producing a lot of wild visuals. So it's a pretty, I would say, like psychedelic book in nature. It's pretty obviously a psychedelic book once you see the story, and even when you just open the first page, you see kind of this like psychedelic graphomania going on everywhere, and that alone is enough to make me enjoy the book. But basically, you have this magician character named Magnus. So here you get some of the really cool visuals that are in this book. And Magnus has a dog. Here you can see him doing his weird magic, and he manifests the dog, Salome. And Salome, I don't know how you're supposed to pronounce that name, but Salome is just a dancing dog and does these performances. And so here you'll see the kind of beautiful compositions and just really fun imagery that you get through this book. And then there's a lot of really cool production stuff that happens later that I'll point out as well. So basically, this Magnus guy's therapist is this character here, and his assistant, they're going to hypnotize Magnus to try and get the secret out of him about how he trains this dog to do the dancing. So here you see they basically give him some mushrooms, some mushroom tea, and then they both take mushrooms as well, and they're going to go spelunking in his brain. So it's like when I say it doesn't amount to much, it's just a weird psychedelic book. That's not really a negative criticism. It's just an explanation of what the book is. Like, that's what the artist set out to do, is to make like a psychedelic book. And it seems very driven by the imagery and stuff. Really, I don't know. Like, I didn't take away any bigger message from that. I'm sure the artist had something in mind, but I don't see it as a failure for that. I just see it as like that's the type of book it is. It's something that's going in, looking at visuals, looking to be kind of trippy, and you get that in spades. There's all kinds of cool stuff in here like this. I don't want to show too many images. Because this is a brand new book, just came out. I don't want to give away the ending or anything like that. But some of these intense images like this, like these characters walking through this maze that's made of brain matter, I think is just really inventive. And they've got this rope that they're going to follow out like you would in the Minotaur's cave. So there's definitely, as you would with psychedelic stuff, there's kind of reliance on some Jungian meta-narratives and things like that. The thing that impressed me the most in this book, especially with the visuals, was the use of collage throughout. I think the collage in this book is really interesting and really well done. So there's a lot of sequences like this where there are black and white images that have been cut and pasted out together. It looks fairly physical. It doesn't look like a Photoshop job to me. It looks like a physical cut and paste. But there are many, many instances in here. This is kind of an example over here and down here where it looks like the artist has scanned doilies, or at least got like vector patterns of doilies, but it looks like the artist has scanned doilies and then put maybe a black background behind them or change them to black, and are using those doily patterns to create the psychedelic patterns that you would get in the psychedelic art, along with a lot of just patterns and newspapers. Like there's all kinds of stuff in here that I can see, just a lot of sourced patterns. There's like these drawn monkeys holding cutouts of bricks. There's like a very intricate rug down here, some kind of fabric here as well, this little knit doll, some dolls up here. Just a lot of different stuff. I should have tagged one more where they're using, well, here's a pretty good example too, like these bricks here, and there's just all this weird crap like collaged into the bricks, as well as these old, like they're in a magician's head, and so there's a lot of these old ads for like magic things, that you would order, like ads, tricks and stuff that you would order out of like old comic books or like a old Sears catalog type of thing, just tricky stuff for kids that would get someone started as a musician. So even though I'm saying it's a pretty light and fluffy psychedelic book, there is stuff like this where you're in someone's psyche and you're seeing the hints of what appealed to them as a child that led them to be the adult that they are. I think that's very wise. But then combined with just the visuals of however these are being put in here, whether they're physical or whether they've been digitally put in there, I really, really enjoyed the use of collage throughout the book. So that's pretty much a decent overview of the book. You have these wild, really well done psychedelic visuals done with collage and just some really intense graphomaniac drawing. And then you have basically a deep dive into the brain of a magician by his therapist trying to figure out how he gets a dog to dance. And then I won't give away the ending of it. But a visually really stunning and really pleasing book. Of course, it's Fantagraphics, so it's super well designed, super well printed, and all of that. So this is a tentative recommendation. You know, this is like if this looks like it's your kind of thing, or if you just really enjoy the way the art looks, definitely go get it. If you're looking for like a real rich, meaty drama or something like that, this wouldn't be the book for you. So hopefully this helps you make a decision. If you're on the fence about the book, I think it's a quite enjoyable book. I would recommend it. If you enjoy what we're doing here on the channel and you would like to support us, there's two ways to do that. The first is through our Patreon. We have 2 different tiers of engagement on there. The first tier just gets you early access to the videos. The second tier comes with a lot more exclusive access to arts and voting on different projects that we have, stuff like that. Any of the money that we make from that just goes back into helping pay for the books that we review. So if you want to support Living the Line itself, the best thing to do is to support what Sean's doing with Living the Line Publishing. And we'll go ahead and take a look at one of his books now. Centralia is an awesome, gorgeous comic by rising Dutch star Miel van de Peet. This is his first work. It's a really great sci-fi story. There's a world in the future where the sun has gotten so hot that people can't be on the ground, so they have to run around. There's a lot of conceits that go with that. You know, what is the world that looks like? And I think you can see by the art that Sean's description of this book as like a Moebius for young adults, a YA Moebius, is a really great description of this really gorgeous and like wild, wacky, fun book. Thanks for following along. Take it away, Jack.
You want to see all these books? Smash that subscribe button and the like button and the bell, and then you get them.